cold night at the foot of the Rockies. EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Empower Field at Mile High in Denver, Colorado. And tonight we've got an AFC matchup in store for you, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Denver Broncos. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. On the ground, this is Amarian Hampton. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Back to throw here, Herbert. For Keenan Allen, that's complete. That'll give him 8 that time. And now 1 yard to go on third down.
Third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Trying to run for it with Hampton. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. So much for picking it up on the ground on third down. Third play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
Looking to put a drive together.
At their own 24-yard line.
They'll run with a second-round pick from April's draft. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Great effort by Derwin James on the stop.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
Again, it's Harvey. Shifts by him. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
This now a 3rd and 4. Nix to the air. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And he will have the Broncos first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
And that one was a lot of fun right there, because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Harvey now on 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Deshaun Hand gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Throwing Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 41-yard line. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Off the play fake, here's Nix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he gets it down to the 32. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
10 more yards.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well, what we call those broken plays? You can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Setting up a screen for Harvey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Nick's going to give to Harvey. Nifty move. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. It's a nice run there. Gets them down to the 6-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Let's face it, that's just a helpless feeling for a running back there. He's looking up to find a hole, and all he finds is a whole lot of ticked-off linebacker.
To throw is Nix. He'll swing this out to Harvey. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out. And the Broncos put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Here's Herbert. Complete to Johnston here. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's fourth down.
Two drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
To throw, here's Nix. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 10. Here's Nix. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Herbert now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That is caught. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
They'll send the tight end in motion. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Charger football to start quarter number 2. As they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Now it's Herbert. He's got a man. That's Keenan Allen. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 42. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
And that is incomplete. The coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Herbert going to give to Hampton. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And not enough on the throw that time, as that one is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Would have been right at about a 52-yard field goal try, but no, they are going to go for this thing on 4th down. They will run for it with Hampton. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Good spot on the field to go for it. Kind of no man's land, as they call it, and it worked out.
Yeah, they call it no man's land because your punter is telling you it's too short. I'm just going to punt it into the end zone. Your field goal kicker might give you a little raised eyebrow, might be too far for the field goal, so it gives you a great chance to go for it. Personally, if you have those tendencies to be aggressive as a head coach, you kind of like this spot because it gives you the decision to go ahead and go for it when you want to anyway.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Short throw to Disley. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
He'll dump this off to Hampton, complete. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Caught by Allen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
On the give, it's Vidal. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Kamani Vidal. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers are an extra point away from drawing level.
Sometimes you get a first and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line, and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on first down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Powering his way forward. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He completes this to Sutton. He'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Portland Sutton. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 3rd and 7.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Nix from the shotgun. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The drive begins with a carry by Hampton, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's Herbert. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Back to throw here, Herbert. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Herbert. That's complete. It's Ladd McConkey. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Finds Johnston. Oh, he shifts past him. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Wide open receiver, complete. And the Chargers are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
No question, he's so dangerous down here near the goal line. The safeties, they have to be involved in run support against a quarterback like this. And in turn, they're going to ask their teammates to be involved as well.
Out of the gun, Herbert. This is caught. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
3rd down and goal. This Denver defense trying to hold up for one more play. Looking to throw. Herbert. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Dre Greenlaw getting home on that one. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And his kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you've got to make that throw, right? That's got to be completed.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the side, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Intercepted.
Nix to the air. Setting up a screen for Harvey. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out, and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
A short one to the tight end, Troutman. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Throwing Nix. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
Makes it second and 10.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. Back to the air with Nix. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. To throw is Nix. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. That could be an important swing right there. A touchdown in the final minute of the half to take the lead.
And I like the point you just made there. Could be an important swing because now that they have the lead, if they can carry that into the locker room at the half, they'll feel really good about what they accomplished in the first 2 quarters.
Chargers 10.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
A gain of 19 yards. First down, Los Angeles.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Herbert. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
45-yard line.
Second down and 4. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll begin on the ground with Harvey. And they'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Once more with Harvey. And he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
3rd and 4. Play clock down to 0, and that's going to be a delay. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. To throw, here's Nix. Got a man open, it's Sutton. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Returnable here for Davis. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10. At their own 27. Off play action, he'll throw to start the drive. Finding room at midfield. Loose inside the 30. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
I can still hear it reverberate through this thick skull of mine. Crossing routes versus man-to-man coverage, it's a bad matchup for the defense. Those tend to work very well as they run away from a defender.
On 1st down, it's Hampton. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level. On that snap, he's a hero of his defense after the play he just made. A one-possession game, and his hit kept it exactly that.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Herbert. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown.
Touchdown, Los Angeles.
A 9-yard touchdown there. And the Chargers have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. So a very strong first drive in this 2nd half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a 3rd quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Extra point up and good by Dicker. And it's now 17-14. So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Elijah Molden. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
Herbert now. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. weren't able to do so on that play.
On for the field goal. A 30-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now.
So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a first-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Up the middle, it's Harvey.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
He'll air this one out for Mims. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. The Charger drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
2nd and 9.
Play action. It's Herbert. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
Well, if I haven't said it before, I'm certainly saying it now. No one throws a prettier deep ball than Justin Herbert. This thing's on a rope, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And Johnston sent in motion.
From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for L.A. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Four yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because he had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
The Broncos send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. I've got a good friend in football, always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
The work inside here, Hampton.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And that will be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is taken at about the 14. A terrific return there, 27 yards all told. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Off the play fake, Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
He certainly did his best to find something on that run, but there just wasn't enough time to make it happen. Nice effort there, avoiding the sack and getting back to the line of scrimmage. That one certainly could have ended up worse.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Now it's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Out of the gun, a run with Harvey.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
They run straight ahead with Harvey.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
The kick by Lutz is good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
The Charger drive about to get going.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Herbert going to keep it on his sneak.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. So call that no gain on the sneak, and now they're still a yard short here on 4th.
No gain? Quarterback sneak? No gain? Aren't you supposed to get something out of that?
Yeah, needed a full yard there. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Nix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Incomplete. He was covered by Dante Jackson.
Third quarter action, and we appreciate you spending your Christmas Eve right here with us. 2nd and 10. They'll go play action with Nix.
And fights through one man. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
They'll look to throw again. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point, just a field goal separating these two teams. A punt as he gets this away. And he was looking for the check out for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He's got a man. It's his fullback. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Here is 3rd down and 4.
Here's Herbert.
Now this one finds McConkey. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Out of the gun, they'll run with Hampton.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
With Nick Bonito not letting him escape there. He was in instant pursuit off the snap and dropped him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Herbert. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. He didn't, so it's incomplete. Boy, that one really could have turned this thing upside down.
I think when they get back in the huddle, the question will be, why did you throw that one? The coverage was incredible all over him. The only thing he didn't do after he caught the ball as a defender was get his feet in bounds. That should have been a turnover.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Herbert has it knocked free.
And that ball popped free. We could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. 61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, back to Harvey.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Back to throw. Nix.
On the slant, completes to Sutton. And Sutton will have a Broncos 1st down as he's going to get this down to the 45-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix.
A short throw to Ingram. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2 yards to go, 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Nix.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
That's another Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
He's going to try and do this himself.
Give him 4 yards there on the 1st down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
And his throw is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass.
Nix to the air. Working the man complete.
And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 12-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
From down at the 12, it's first and 10.
And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Well-timed effort there by Derwin James, a sack from his safety position. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Throwing, Nix. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. The kick by Lutz is good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And we essentially have a brand-new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. Great effort by Alex Singleton as he finishes that play off.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Allen's got it complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
A gain of 10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Here's Herbert. And Allen's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Up the middle, it's Hampton.
Zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run, and that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
Back to Hampton on 1st down.
And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Again, it's Hampton.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
But he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
First and goal, Los Angeles.
Here's first and goal. Herbert.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Throwing, Herbert. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Herbert. They'll set up the screen to Hampton.
Touchdown, Chargers!
Omari and Hampton from 3 yards out. And the Chargers have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. An incompletion, now a short pickup. That's not going to do it.
Yeah, you've got to get to the line of scrimmage quickly, get set up, and aim downfield.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
2nd and 2 at the 16-yard line.
Here comes 2nd down.
Back to throw. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you got to get up there and spike it.
That's good for a Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
He's back to throw.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Back to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Obviously, the excitement level here is almost a fever pitch. Down 1. It's tempting to go for 2. I say you go ahead and kick the extra point. You got the home crowd carried into overtime.
I'm with you. I do see some fans, though, holding up 2 fingers. Easy now.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who have to actually make that call, are they?
And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
We are going to do this. We got this. Do this. Come on, let's play like a team.
So now this will be, in all likelihood, to force overtime. And he has got it. So barring something crazy on the kickoff, we're looking at an extra period to decide this one.
So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
Here's 1st and 10. Herbert to throw.
And incomplete on the deep ball. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime.
Oh, good-looking return set up here.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
To throw is Nix. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Out of the gun, they go with Harvey.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult 3rd down call now.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Now it's Nix. Now back foot throw there is incomplete.
Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, People think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, their defense, they did the important thing. They got the stop. They didn't allow a point, but now they're backed up here pretty far, Charles. Going to need a significant drive to try to get into position for the game-winning field goal.
Yeah, partner, don't you think that defense is on the sidelines right now saying, don't come to us with your problems about where you're starting? We did the important part. We kept them off the board, kept us in the ball game. Find a way to maneuver it downfield, at least get into field goal range, and get us a win.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10.
A run once more with Hampton.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now Herbert with his first throw in OT.
Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Trying to run for it with Hampton.
And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47.
89 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times.
And that's why you spend a 1st-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Now it's Herbert.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive, so now sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That first series, boy, everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
Nick's going to give to Harvey.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a 3rd and 6. Here's Nix. Setting up a screen from Harvey.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a 1st down. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
That's good.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Harvey now on 1st and 10.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw, here's Nix.
He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball. But he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Operating from the gun, Nix.
And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here's Herbert. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Herbert going to give to Hampton.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
126 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Zone read, a give to Hampton. A determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Give here to Hampton.
No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down.
Hit and drop behind the line by Dre Greenlaw.
He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
Now an option play on 2nd down.
And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
The offense schemed going 5 wide, trying to create a chance for the big shot, and they took it. If he comes down with that one, that's a huge offensive swing. But credit the defense with a nice play, knocking that one away.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
On the handoff, Harvey.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now 2nd and 3.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Trying to run for it. Here's Harvey. He's in. Touchdown. They win it deep into the overtime period. A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much, too.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Denver.